Hello, everybody, and happy Tuesday evening to you. I wanted to add a random live stream on a Tuesday night because I am in the middle of negotiating my fourth offer for, negotiating. I'm not negotiating. I'm in the middle of working with my fourth buyer on trying to negotiate an offer for Dream for All. And I am learning that there's a lot of education needed for real estate agents. And I am super, super nervous about you losing your voucher because you don't have the right realtor working on your side. Now, don't misunderstand. I am not telling you that you should fire the realtor that you're working with. What I'm telling you is you need to educate the realtor that you're working with, because a lot of the realtors that are calling me, they have absolutely no idea how the program works. And you've got them out there writing offers and they don't know what the right steps are. And it's cost already one of my clients an offer on a home because it wasn't explained properly. And so I'm going to tell you a couple of things tonight. First of all, I want you to understand the gravity of this situation. More importantly, is I want you to help me fix it by getting your realtor and anybody else who you know that's a realtor to join me this Wednesday at 1 p.m. I'm doing a Zoom webinar for real estate agents explaining how to write the offer properly, how to put the correct information into the purchase agreement, how to properly explain to the listing agent how the deal is going to be structured, because there's a lot of things that I've seen that have created problems so far. So if you are a realtor or if you are a buyer with a voucher, have your realtor join me this Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Scrolling right down below, you can see the email. Email us to register. If you're watching this after Wednesday the 10th at 1 o'clock, then email us to get a replay of that webinar. But here's the deal. How can your realtor cost you the offer? First of all, it's about correctly structuring the offer. I already had one buyer that wrote their offer. The realtor wrote their offer saying, we're putting 20% down. So on the contract, it said 20% down. The first thing the listing agent said, prove to me the source of funds. Where's the money coming from to pay for the down payment? And they couldn't prove it. And the realtor, they didn't know what to say. They didn't reach out to me to ask for my advice. And most importantly, the realtor didn't copy me on the offer. And that's a critical piece that as your lender, I'm going to help make sure the offer gets accepted. So when your realtor writes an offer, they copy me on the offer. I had a buyer tonight who wrote an offer in LA, and I got the notification. The realtor emailed me a copy of it. I got the notification from on my email, and I immediately called the listing agent. The listing agent said, immediately, half hour later, the listing agent said, wow, John, I'm impressed because normally I have to hunt down the lender. And that makes a really big difference when I can tell my sellers I have a cooperative lender. And I said, well, you don't just have a cooperative lender, you have a proactive lender. That's a big difference. And he laughed. But the bottom line is I was able to explain to him how the Dream for All program worked. And he goes, John, I don't understand it. And this says it's 100% financing. I've never seen 100% financing like this. It doesn't make sense to me. And if I can't understand the offer, I'm not going to recommend it to my seller. That's the key. The listing agent is the key, is the doorway to the seller accepting the offer. So you need to make sure that it's properly explained. You need to make sure that the listing agent understands this is not last year's Dream for All. Because there's a hangover right now with real estate agents that are so concerned, understandably, about all the challenges that we're dealing with when it comes to the changes in real estate rules and how commissions are paid. And they didn't pay attention to the fact of, hey, there's this amazing program that came out. And so they don't know that this program is different than last year. And they think, oh my gosh, I had that last year and I got burned because my client went into contract and a couple of days later they went to lock the loan and the money was gone. So you have people that are going to reject your offer simply because they think this is still last year's Dream for All. They think that your access to that money is time sensitive. It is because you have 90 days, but it's not time sensitive like it's going to go away today or tomorrow. So it's really, really critical that you have the right realtor who understands the program, and help me educate your realtor by getting them to join my webinar on Wednesday. It's going to be a Zoom webinar Wednesday at 1 p.m. and they can email my office and we'll get them registered for the webinar. Here's another thing, appraisal concerns. So you've got realtors that are afraid of, hey, what's going to happen if the appraisal comes in low? This person has zero money for a down payment. The truth is, you're allowed to pay the difference between the appraised value and the contract price. Whether you want to or not, it's a different story. But that is separate from the extra 5% you're allowed to pay out of pocket. Your extra 5% down plus closing costs is not taken into account when we're looking at covering the gap. So a lot of people who have vouchers right now do have money that they can use. If that's you, you have to make that clear. You may even be willing to waive your appraisal contingency, because even if the appraisal comes in low, that just means you're able to put more money out of pocket and you can buy the house at full price, put extra money out of pocket, and then your dream for all money is based on the appraised value, because appraisals, unfortunately, are historical documents. And if you're in a tight market that is highly competitive and values are going up, the appraiser can't always justify why the value is higher today. They have to use comparable data from the past. And so understanding how to structure that, understanding that you really can get an appraisal waiver and how to write that into the contract, how to explain that to not only the listing agent, but the truth is help explain it to you. Because my job as your lender is to give you all the information I can, but when your realtor is in the middle of writing an offer and it's 8 o'clock at night on a Monday night and I'm doing a live stream right now and they can't get a hold of me because, well, I'm with my family or I'm doing a live stream, you need to understand how this works, and your realtor is the critical key, because the seller is in the middle of deciding between your offer and somebody else's. So again, I'm not telling you to switch realtors. What I'm telling you is let's make sure your realtor is educated. Get them to my Zoom webinar so they can answer and ask questions this Wednesday. The other thing that you need to be aware of is proper timelines and expectations. So I'm going to talk to your realtor about that, but you've got to be cautious about how long of an escrow period that you're writing. You've got to be cautious about what you're asking for in loan contingency and appraisal contingency. And we've definitely got to be concerned about insurance. Right now, insurance is becoming a bigger and bigger issue. So if you're a winner for Dream for All, you need to be aware that you've got to start looking for insurance immediately after your offer gets accepted. It's not something that you can just get quickly at the end. It's a pretty big deal, and it's hard to get good insurance quickly, especially if your property is in a high wildfire zone or has a history of insurance claims. So you need to be aware of that fact. These are all of the things that I'm going to help guide you. So I want to prepare you right now that if your realtor is not educated on how to present the offer correctly to the listing agent, and if the listing agent needs an explanation on how it works, you've got to make sure your realtor is educated. Help me get them educated by having them email the link down below. Email me at kingteam@johnloneking.com, and we'll get them set up for our webinar on Wednesday. So I appreciate those of you that are watching live. I appreciate those of you who are watching recorded. I don't appreciate those that don't watch, but if you're not watching, you don't know that I don't appreciate you. I'm just kidding. Guys, I really, really appreciate your time. I know we've only got a couple short minutes here where I'm giving you a quick update, but I appreciate everybody. And if you have any questions, please reach out. If you are a voucher winner and you don't feel like you have the right lender on your side, your voucher clearly says you can work with your original lender that gave you the Dream for All pre-approval or any CalHFA approved lender of your choice. I am a CalHFA approved lender, and you know that I'm very well educated in this program. If you'd like to get the process started, scan that QR code up above, and I'd be honored to take great care of you. Thanks so much for listening. Hope everybody has a wonderful Monday evening, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.